the design part of the banner. So we're going to go straight into design space. So I have everything over here on the side with all the layers so you can see. So we're going to start with the shape of our banner. You're going to go to the left over here to upload. Wait, I'm skipping a step. Go to images. You're going to type in banner. See, I already have it typed in. And you don't even have to use the same shape that I have. You can just find one that you like and go from there. But the one that I use is this one right here. You just click on it. It goes right here to show you what you're inserting. Insert images. Now you can do any size you like. I'm demonstrating a mini banner and it's about 5.5 inches, I believe. Yeah, just about that size. Okay, so I chose one with the holes already punched in it so I don't have to punch the holes when I'm done. We're going to ungroup on the right side right here. And we need this one. So we're going to go back to the right here and make a duplicate. Now go back on the side here on the left, click on shapes and choose a square. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to slice off this top piece. So we're going to make this bigger. It has to be larger than the image we're slicing. And just move it up just a little. Highlight both. Down at the bottom on the right, choose slice. And we just need that piece. These are gone. So I just highlighted all of it and clicked on the X. So now we have this piece. Make it a little bit smaller. That's perfect. So before we move on, we're going to group these back together, highlight it. At the top here, you're going to go to group. So I just want to change it to the color so I know what it looks like as I go along in design. So you're going to click on the orange layer over here on the right. Right here where you see that orange circle, this is where we change the color. Change it to pink. The yellow layer. And when you click on it, you're going to see it highlights which one, so you have the correct one. We're going to change that to white. Now for this one, I'm going to have it printed on a pattern. So if you haven't purchased your digital paper yet, or your images that you're going to use, go right on ahead and do that first. If you're not using the science theme, you're choosing your own theme. And when you purchase those images, it doesn't come with any digital paper. You can just go to Etsy and type in the theme you're looking for. For instance, if it's teddy bear, type in teddy bear digital paper and it'll all come up there. So I'm going to show you right over here, uploads. So right down here, I've already uploaded different digital papers that I like. Take that off. If you're unsure how to do that, you would go to upload image, browse, and then go on your computer and find out where you have it. So I have them already open here. So let's say I choose this one, go to open. See, it's right here. That's what the paper looks like. So it's basically like your pattern cardstock, but for your computer. So you click on complex, go down to the bottom and press continue. Now it's so close because it's zoomed in. So you can zoom out just to see it. Now this is paper. We don't have to erase, take away, alter anything unless you feel like you need to. So just press continue. And then you can change the name to save it to whatever you want. Tags are just names that you would search. So for instance, if you forgot what you named it, but you're looking for it on your uploads or wherever, you can type in whatever names you save, like science and things like that. So we're going to save it as the print and cut. Anytime an image is saved as a cut, it will just be the outlining, you see, just a square of that image. So make sure it's on print and cut. Click on save. And now it's here with your uploads. So you'll do the same process and get all of the images that you need for your project. So we're going to choose our paper, go to insert images. Now when it uploads really large. So just go to the top here and just change it to a smaller size, maybe 5 inches. Okay, it didn't. Just to bring it down to what you like. So now we're going to slice this image here out of this. So lay it on top of each other. It doesn't matter which one is on the front or the bottom. Just make sure the pattern is covering your entire image. Highlight both. And then we're going to slice. See? Now this we don't need. This we're going to keep because we have to work with this right here. So put this here, and now you kind of see this is going to be our background for our shaker window that's going to be on the 2 ends. And it's also going to be just a flat one for the middle pieces. If you want to make your entire banner a shaker banner, you can do that too. So now this piece here, I'm going to just move it to the front because I want it on top. See how it's behind that one? Go to arrange and send to the front. Now it's on top. So what we're going to create is a piece, basically a stencil for us to cut on the foam board. And then also the little, I'll say, border that's going to go above the foam board. So this, we're going to make a duplicate. And I'll show you how we're going to create that. We're going to make another duplicate because I need more than one. So this one, we're going to just move to the side. This is going to be basically what we use for our acetate sheet. All of them need to be around the same side. This one, we're going to create our border. And on this one, we're going to create our stencil. So now that we have this, let's start with the border, which is going to be a little thicker than the stencil here. So we're going to make another duplicate. Make it smaller. Any size you want, just go in between here. You see how that's thin? We want it to be a little thicker. So like that. Highlight both. You're going to slice it. Take that out. Take that out. And now this is our border. We're going to change that to green, just so we remember. Now we're going to do the same with this one. I'm just moving that over. But we're going to make it a little bit thinner. So make a duplicate. Make it a little smaller. Remember, we want it to be thinner than this because when we make that, cut that border, we don't want it to be the same thickness as the border. We want the border to kind of hide it. So highlight both. Slice right here. Take that out. We don't need this. I'm going to change this to black because we're just going to cut it on a black piece of cardstock because that's basically just a stencil. So I'm going to lay them on top of each other so you can see how we would layer them when we're done. So this stencil basically is going to be foam board that'll go on top of this. Then you're going to take your acetate sheet. Let me take this one. When I'm cutting acetate, I usually change it to a light gray So when it goes to the mat, I know which one is the acetate sheet that I have to send to the I keep saying send to the Cricut. So I'm going to move it to the front as usual so we can see. The acetate sheet will go right above our foam board. And then, let me just arrange this to the front. Your border goes right on top of that. So just imagine this gray is clear. So that's how that will be done. And that's how you make your shaker for your banner. Now, we have images that we're going to lay on top of that, and also our wording for the center. So I'm doing just the word one. And you can basically offer happy birthday, the person's name, the person's age, whichever you want, you can make it. Just make duplicates for each letter for the banner. So what I did, I'm going to do 2 of these, and then the center banner is going to be just this banner piece with our printed paper. I'm going to make a duplicate, and that's our center. So I'm just going to group this right here, and I'm going to make 3 of them because I'm doing the word one. Go to text, type in whatever word you're putting on there. Hold on, just want to move this. Oh, stop it. Now we're going to change the font right over here on the left. Now I want a font with more than 1 layer. So you go to filter, go to multi-layer, and then you just choose the font that you like. See that? So let's choose for now this birthday bash. That's not the one I have here. See that? I have this Disney Mickey font here. But when you choose a font with more than 1 layer, it comes in with just one. You have to turn on, basically right here on the right, the other layer. So you click on this little eye, and you see the 2 layers now? See that? Then you're going to change your colors to whatever you have. I did click on the back layer, and I have that as yellow. Click on the top layer, and I change it to lavender. Now you want to size it so that it fits in your banner. So all I do, I just open it up to whatever, measure it, each one. See that? This will be too big for me. Because I have that pattern paper, I want the letter to be within the pattern paper. So just size it to whatever size you want. If you're making a larger banner and you size your letters, excuse me, and then you send it to the mat and it tells you like it's too big, what you need to do is ungroup these. So up here, ungroup for a moment. Okay, so if it says it's too big, ungroup each layer. See, now they're separate from each other. Then ungroup again. Click on the top layer, ungroup. And then it'll send each one to the mat separately, and it'll fit on your mat. So that's if you're having any issues. So I just wanted to go over that just in case you decide to do a bigger banner and you can't understand why it doesn't fit. So this is I'm gonna arrange, I always arrange it to the front just so I can see what it looks like, because when you start working on a layer, for instance, if we're finished with the letters, we put it to the side, we start working on this one, Cricut automatically moves this one to the front because that's the most recent one you was working on. So that's why when I go back to another layer, I always move it to the front so I can see what it looks like. Excuse me. So now that we have our letters, we're just going to move them over here. Always remember to size them before you save or before you do anything so you know exactly what's going on. You don't cut it and then you wasted paper, especially if it's some type of specialty paper like glitter, because it costs a little more. You don't want to waste your paper. So now we have that for the center. We're going to now upload our images that we want to use. I'm just going to put these, I like to group everything together. Any layers that go on top of each other or together, you want to just kind of get your mind in the habit of grouping them together as you're finished designing it, just in case you decide to change the size. So once they're grouped together, you can just keep sizing it to move, and all three will be the same size, you know? So now we're going to go to upload. I linked the website to go find these cute little babies here. If you don't want to do a science theme, that website has a lot of different themes. You can choose different. You don't have to, they have like, depending on the theme, it'll be different complexions. They have some children that are white. They have Asian. Well, she tries to include everyone in her things. So you can find the one that you need, theme or, you know, color, race, whatever you're looking for. I think they have most of it. Now, no one can get everything, but she has most. So we're using, let me go to view all, because that's your most recent ones. So I need this science word here. I'm using the little girl. I'm also using this one, and this one. And insert. So remember, when they come in, they always come in pretty large. See? So we're just going to change the size. So click on each one, and we're going to just change their height to about 3 inches so we can see them clearly with our design and work with each one. I'll change the width on this one, not the height. Okay. So the first one I'm going to work with is the science, because I have it up top here as the banner. So I just make it a little bigger, but as you can see, it's a little larger, but it doesn't look the same as what we have here. So you're going to unlock it and bring the length a little bigger, and then lock it back. You can change these things to whatever you need. If you don't want it to go past the banner piece, you want it to fit exactly in, just change it. So now we're going to give it the shadow background here. So what you're going to do, you're going to get a duplicate. Now the original one, you're going to go to the top where it says fill up here on the left side. Click on a drop down, change it to no fill. Then we're going to change the color, yellow, to the color that we want. This way, when the project is done, everything is sent to the mat, you know which colors to grab, because we're going to have a few layers to cut. So you're going to ungroup, make it a little longer and a little wider, then place the science word right here to see if that's good enough for you. If you feel like you want to see more of that background, just bring it down more, wide. And you see that? So we're going to just move these down a little now. Highlight both. Group them together. See, I'm moving these. Let me group these. I forgot to group these layers. Also makes it easy when you need to move things around. So click back on science. Arrange it to the front, because this went to the front since that's the most recent one we worked on. And put it here. So now if it looks a little too big, just bring it in, because we put the little border on the back. See that? Now what you're going to do is make 3 more of these, and that's for the top here of that layer. So now we're finished with all of the letters in the middle. I'm just going to group those together. So we have the center of our banner, the letters for the center of our banner here, and now we're still working on the outside of the banner. So that's the 2 end, basically like the end caps I always do those with a character or something on it. So this beautiful little lady here, I want her to be in the middle. So I'm just going to size it where she fits exactly in the frame. If you want to do a shadow, you do the same step. For the girl, I'm not doing a shadow. I'm going to do a shadow on these pieces. All right, you know what? Take this. I'm not using this one and this one as I see. I'm going to go back to uploads. I want this one. And remember, when you're designing, it's all about what you want or what your client wants. It doesn't have to be exactly what I show you. This is just to teach you the technique of how to design it. You can do any theme with it. So now that we have the images I want, we sized her to fit in here. When you do it, if you want to put her inside the little shaker window, you can. For this one, I'm going to put her on the outside. But always, to give a little dimension, duplicate. You want two of the girls. Just put them together. Highlight them and group them as usual. And just keep them here. So these I'm making smaller because I'm just going to like, hold on, I just like to see where it's going to be. So what I do is I arrange to the front and I just lay it where I want it so I know the size. So I know she is going to be right here. And I'm just figuring out, arrange to the front. I'm going to make this a little smaller. I think I want it just on a little curve right here. So I always try to arrange it where I want it to be and how it's going to look once I'm ready to assemble. So with these, I want to do a border on these. So you're going to, over here to the right, duplicate. The back layer, we're going to change into no fill. Change it to the color. I'm going to leave it gray because I'm doing silver. Open it up. Make it a little bit longer, a little bit wider. Move this to the front. Don't forget. Oh no, it's already in the front. Lay it here and see if that's how you want it. So sometimes these little skinny edges here, it's not going to be exact because it's not an exact shadow. We're just creating one. But for me, this looks good. Highlight both and group. As you can see, I'm grouping everything. And repeat the same process. Duplicate. Oh, when I do this, I just make it straight. So it is, I'm gonna move that away. I just want to do a whole nother one. When I size it, I like to have it straight. So we're gonna change it from the print to a no fill. Unlock, make it a little longer, a little wider. Put this on top, and there goes our little shadow. Highlight, group it together, and then I just arrange it how I want it to look. That looks a little bigger now that the shadow is there, so I would just make it a little bit smaller. See that? Now this is your entire design. This is all of our layers. We have our banner layer, our little decorative background for in the window. We have at the top of the banner. This, remember, we have our stencil on here. The gray represents our acetate sheet and the green is the border. So that's everything for our little end cap. You're going to highlight all of it. Group it together and make a duplicate of everything we just did. So now if you want to line it up the way you want to see it, you can just arrange it. So basically this is what your border would look like with these pieces open. And these are your letters for the center. And there you have your border. Now also what you can do, if you feel like it's not large enough, ungroup, then I would lay every layer. Oh, we didn't layer those on top of them? No, we didn't. Just get everybody on top of each other. You don't want to have to resize every layer. So put all of them together. And then your little end banner here. I wouldn't necessarily put the numbers. Group everything, so that's every layer for your entire banner. Group it and then resize it. So that way you're not resizing one layer at a time. You want it bigger, make it bigger. Make it smaller. Once you're done, go to your letters. Make sure you arrange it to the front. Let me see. Let me just move this bigger so I can give you an example because it looks the same. All right, Cricut, you're acting up today. All right. Move it here and just resize after you've sized the banner to the size you want. See that? And that's how you would resize the entire banner, and you don't have to do it one step at a time. So now we have everything ready. The most important step, save your project. Save. If it's new, save as and give it a name. This, I already have this saved myself. If I made any changes, then you would click save right here, and that'll save your changes. Now, once you have that done, we're going to head on over and cut our pieces. So I'm taking this away because I already had this done ahead of time. You're going to go to, make sure you choose your correct machine, guys. I'm using the Maker. Go to Make It. And now you see all of your layers here. So you know we're going to put the pink. I'm using pink cardstock, mint green right here, glitter. I'm using yellow glitter here. This right here, this is what we had the stencil. So I just used black cardstock. I didn't change it here. I just try to remember. This will be silver glitter. The light gray, see it's separated from the dark gray so that I know this is cut on the acetate sheet. For the white, I'm using like a white kind of, it's white glitter, but it looks a little pink. And these are our print and cut images. So you're going to start with the first one. You're going to press continue down here. Now, when you go to send to printer, I'm using the Epson Workforce 7720. So that has 2 trays and a rear feeder. So I always use a rear feeder for thicker paper. So you click on the Use System dialog box and to hit print. Now that dialog box is going to pop up. If you don't have your screen open full, it'll probably pop up behind your screen. So you just want to minimize and you'll find it. So this is it. I have it set here on media and quality. I choose the rear tray to make sure it goes to that back feeder. The media type, today we're using photo glossy paper. It automatically went to best. If it does not, you go on ahead and do that. Also, it lets you know if your ink is low. So I'm going to go change that, and then you print. Your sheet will print out exactly how you saw it here with that black border on it. That's the registration marks. And your Cricut, excuse me, basically reads that black line to know where it has to cut in the center. Now, when I'm using photo paper, our glossy photo paper, I always keep my settings to glitter cardstock. Now, for this project, I never change it. I'm using glitter cardstock. Even on the acetate sheets, I cut it on glitter cardstock. I believe, let's go to Browse All Materials. And I'm going to see if they have acetate here. I usually keep it on glitter cardstock only because sometimes I forget to change it, but it cuts it straight through. That's iron-on, that's leather, paper. I'm just trying to see if you guys, because some people like to have the setting perfectly. I have it on favorites and I didn't even realize. So there is an acetate setting. See that? I had it on favorites and didn't even notice. So when you get to here, make sure you come back. If you want to change it to make sure it's correct, come back to the materials, click on it, and then choose the one that you want. And then when it goes back and you finish cutting that, it comes out, come back and change it back to glitter cardstock. So I'm usually cutting and doing a bunch of things together. So I like to just keep it at glitter cardstock, just in case I forget. It happens. And cut everything on glitter cardstock. Even the regular cardstock, this is going to be just a pink plain 65-pound cardstock. I keep it on glitter. It just cuts a little thicker. If not, when I'm doing all cardstock projects, 65-pound, for some reason, I just cut on 140 pounds. If it's the 110-pound cardstock, I cut that on glitter cardstock. As you can see, I use the glitter cardstock setting a lot because I know it's a deep setting. So if the paper is deep, then this will be just fine. So we're going to cut all of our pieces and then head on over to assemble. Once your page is printed, see that? You see the black mark? If you have a mat like mine that's, been through a lot, not too sticky, you're going to use the brayer just to press your paper down a little better. You can get this on Cricut.com or Amazon. You're going to line it up right with the white border. If you need that little help, use the brayer to press it down some more. And then load it into your machine. When this is finished, you go back to your screen, print your next page. Do the same, I think it's about 3 pages, depending on your side. Print all your pages, cut all your pieces, and then we're going to head on over and assemble everything. So here we have everything cut out and ready to go. So these are the adhesive foam circles I was talking about. They have the smaller size and the larger size. So it gives your project some kind of dimension. It's raised up a little bit. So we're going to assemble all of those pieces. Now with this, I'm going to glue this down so that the circles here match up. Now, if you work fast, you want to use a glue gun. If not, you can use a tape gun, and I'll show you that. So, remember, with a glue gun, it dries pretty fast, but I'll show you both ways. So this is the tape gun tape runner. I think this is done. I have one that I've blinged out that I'm going to use. This is already loaded. So now, if you're using a glue gun, this is how you keep it. So line it up exactly where you need it. Use your left hand, or the hand that you're, not using frequently. Hold that down. Make sure it's lined up. I just want this up a little bit more. Hold it down to keep it in place. Raise this piece up. Hold it. Remember, your hand is holding that piece down. Put the glue on. Drop it down where it belongs. And now this piece is in place, and then you just put your glue on this side. If you want, I like to kind of fold the back piece. And there you go. Also, if you have a mat, use a mat. I keep doing everything on this desk, and now I have really messed up this desk. It's peeling all over. So now I'm going to show you the same technique with the tape gun. So you're going to just run that tape. So it basically rolls on a two-sided tape. And then you just line it up and press it down. And you just repeat that wherever you want the tape on each layer. If you know you're pretty good with a glue gun, you can just glue it. Line it up where you need it and press it down. If you're kind of a beginner and you feel like the glue is going to dry before you even figure out where exactly to position it, I say stay away from that glue gun until you get some practice. Practice on something else until you get really good, because it dries. I remember when I first started, I messed up a lot and I got so accustomed to using the glue gun, I just kept using it. All right, so that's the back. Now this layer, we're going to use our foam circles for. I have a patch that's open here. And we're gonna lay it on the floor, go in a little. You don't wanna see those circles either. They stay hidden when you're looking at it from the front. And now remember this layer, it's a little lower. It's not going on the top because our little banner is going to be up there. Let me just move everybody aside so we can just focus on these for now. Same. You're going to repeat all. With the last two bordering pieces, we're going to do that a little bit different. We're going to create our window first, our little shaker window, and then do that. So I'm going to finish up, wrong side. These are double-sided. Finish up our inner border part. You do make sort of a mess with crafting. I just let the mess flow until my project is done. Then I'll come back and clean up. And line that up. And you see how that goes? Now we're going to take these and do the same. So you can choose to glue it down flat or use these circles to give it that dimension. I love the way it looks with the circles. And just center it. See the little 3D effect we're getting here? I love that, love that. I mean, I love everything that I do when it comes to crafting, as you can tell. But honestly, the little dimension in the project, it stands out. It really makes a difference. So with these now, see, they're gonna go here. I like, with this, I like to cover it. I don't like to put it here and then you see, unless you see how it kind of fits directly in there, that's pretty cute too. If you want to have it standing up on this, that's perfectly fine. You can put the foam circles here. Also, if you want to feel a little more secure, because you know glitter paper, put a little bit of glue on there and then put it on the glitter part. Let it dry. So you can just place that on there like that. You see how it comes off because this one had the glue, so it's going to stay on there. It'll never come off. Or if you want to tuck it in like we did, hold it up, tuck it in there, and then press it down. But when you do that, just make sure it's centered. So it's on each end. See that? I love it. This is my favorite part of crafting. Like once you get that project going and it's almost complete, I love it. And when it's done, I love it. A lot of things, especially once, we're gonna put that glue because the glitter sometimes give us a little hard time. Once you make anything a business, then the stress definitely will come. So these moments of creating, if you are someone who loves this, you're going to keep going. If you do not love crafting, you're going to have a harder time making this your business. Line it up. Same thing. Because you're going to, any business, every business, you get to your point of wanting to give up. But when you love what you do, you're less likely to give up. You're going to keep trying because it's something you love, you know? And that's for every industry. Oh, wait a minute. This looks, if you look, I put it down and it looks totally off. It's because that piece was upside down. So make sure you're centering it the correct place. Don't be like me. We're just doing the glue on it for that extra added security for the glitter paper. Now we're gonna go to the letters. Same with the letters when it comes to these foam circles. Just move these out the way. You want to either glue it down flat with the glue gun, or use the foam circles and give it that dimension. So I'm trying to remember which one I had on top. Okay. So this is not right. Always, see that? Line up your things before you start gluing. So with these, I want to do foam circles. It just stands out more. Remember, line it up first. Perfect. If you're using the foam circles and you didn't line it up, remember, you could always take it off. But if you glue it down, especially with your glue gun, you've messed up those letters. So always measure them up to each other. Make sure it's the right way, even if you feel like, yeah, it is. Just to be safe, you double check. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Because sometimes if it's a large project, you don't want to have to go back and have to recut everything. Now with the zero, it's an O. You don't have to put all four. I just like to put all four. We just put two edges and it'll stay. See that? The little dimension instead of just flat. I love it. I love it. All right. So now we're going to flip them over. I'm just putting two on this one. And place them right in the center. How cute is this? Guys, I'm in love. I love this stuff. Like, I really, really love it. I don't see how you can't. But anyway, I mean, if you're taking this class, most likely you love it just as much as me. I really love this stuff. Like, if it wasn't a business, I'd still be doing it. Before I did it for business, I did it for family. So I've always loved crafting. Look at it, look at it. Oh. Listen, I don't know how you can't love this stuff. See that? You see how it's sticking out? You kind of see that there. You don't want to see it, so you just move that a little higher. It's in the center. Look at that. Our centerpieces, our centerpieces, the middle of our banner. Look at that. It's done. Look at that. Oh my God. All right, so now we're going to move on to our edges, our end caps, whatever you want to call them, and our little, oh my God. All right, guys, this is a class, but I hope you love it as much as I love it. Like, I love making this. So now we're going to put this aside, and we're going to move on over to get these babies done. Okay, so let's start. So what I want to say to you, when you're doing any cutting with the True Control knife, your X-Acto knife, whatever you're using, you want to either have like a cutting mat underneath here, because you'll just like rip through your desk. Believe me, I've done it. Or if you don't have one, just get a stack of cardstock and place it under so you don't cut up your table. So this is what we're going to start with. Remember our stencils? Get our piece of foam board, whatever thickness it is that you like. You're going to lay your stencil on here. Now these are pretty thin and small because I'm doing a mini banner. So now you're going to get a pen or a marker. Make sure that's right. So you're going to hold your stencil down and trace it, the outside and the inside. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make sure you see where the lines are that we have to cut. See that? Doesn't have to be perfect. You just gotta see exactly. So you go over, nobody cares. Just make sure you have that line where you know where to cut. So that is the outer part. Oops, I moved that a little. You want to hold it down. And same for the inside. Try to hold it straight. You don't want it to budge. See that? Take your knife. You want to just store those stencils, so whenever you have to make it again, you have it. And you're going to cut. Try to go a little inside of the line. You're going to press down. What I do first is I kind of trace it. Don't go in too much. Trace the top. And I just want to cut this off to get off any excess. And then come back again and go deep in, where you go all the way through. See that? This piece of board, I have writing on the other side. Do the same here. So I'm just going to take this piece off and separate it so I don't have a big board to work with. I want to do one at a time. So trace it. You're going to nick where you're nicking like the, because it's a sheet of paper here and then the foam in between. Just nick it just to trace, right? And then press in all the way deep. Oops. See, this is why I trace to deep and cut. Let's see how that went. Nobody cares if this paper rips. Right? So I didn't see where I nicked it a little. Try not to do that. I'm gonna try to do another clean cut across just on the edge. I wanna have it as clean as possible. Yeah. because these little edges you're actually going to see. I mean, when the banner is hanging, they're not going to see it, but I mean, like, I see it. So now follow, remember you messed up here. Well, you probably didn't, but I did. Just trace the correct line. I'm just going to trace it again. Let's go a little bit deeper. There we go. Now go in and press all the way down. See that? And just come this piece off. See how we cut the paper? This is why you don't want to have it flat on your desk. Now down here, we have it a little tricky because it's a little swerve. So you want to go along and definitely trace this a few times. Go a little deeper each time. I just like to make my life hard over here using swirly designs, knowing that I am cutting. So if you prefer just a square, we didn't get that too clean, you can use just a square. And then we're going to repeat that process. Go a little deeper each time. Try not to go and cut the whole thing off because we just need the center. If you do, it's okay. We can kind of glue it on the piece. Because this, I know for me, this is not something I want to have to continually redo and try again. Absolutely not. Anything else, but this part, ugh. And this is the tricky part because it's a little curve. The last banner I did was more of a square. I just decided this one, I want it to be a little bit more fancy. But now that I'm cutting, it's like, girl, stick to them squares. All right, so I think you could kind of look on the back and see. So usually, see the little crease right there, right where the corner is? That's the part I usually miss. So just when you flip it over, just go in and catch that. And this is very small and thin, so if it breaks the edge, but this one look like it's coming right to the end, it's fine. We could just glue it down. See that? And it just pops out. So this little fuzzy will drive me absolutely nuts. So I'm just going to try to go in and just clean those out. All right, so the little piece that we have, this paper here, you see how you still see the pen? It really doesn't matter because we're gluing over it, but if it drives you crazy, because honestly, I can't see it, be very careful just peeling this off. Or if you want to use, like, they have foam board that's just foam without this sheet of paper on it. I just could not find it in the stores. You know, so just do it your way. They have the heated wire cutter, foam cutter, wire. If you want to use those, whichever one, I'm just showing you the technique, and then you take it to however you want. Alrighty now. So this cut up paper, how many layers did I cut here? I know some people don't want to waste paper. This paper is always on sale, so I always use it as my little cutting board. So now we have, and you see this fits right on there. You see that? You see it coming in? You see it coming in? So we're going to flip it over. We're going to put glue. Now move a little fast here. You don't want this to dry. And you have to make sure you get all of it. That hot glue just touched my finger. And line it up. Make sure it's straight in there and glue it down. So you see where we're going with our little window here? You see that? Oh my God, I'm ready. All right, guys, don't mind me. So get your chunky glitter, whatever you want to use, what colors, and we're going to just drizzle them in there. Wait, I got a piece of glue. Let me get that out. Get them in there. Just a little bit. How cute, how cute, how cute. All right, so now our acetate sheet, when it cut, it has a protective film on the front and the back. So we're going to take the back one off, lay our glue. Now make sure you get every inch of this thing, like especially the corners, because it has to be sealed so that our glitter doesn't leak out. Then you're going to take it and lay that little window on there. Oh, guys, y'all saw what I did? Anybody paying attention? That was not the back. So I did the wrong side. If you did one, you got to move fast. I might have to re-glue. Which one did I peel? Oh, I peeled the right one, laid the wrong one. Okay. Go here, get it down. Hopefully it didn't dry. If it did, I'm going to redo that. Let me just double check. Oh, woo, y'all, we made it. We made it. All right, so you see it looks a little foggy because we still have the piece on here. The protective film is still on here. So you just peel that off. Look at us. It usually sticks onto the acetate. You just sting it. But look at that. Look at the little baby. How could you not love this? How? I don't know. Okay. So remember our little border that we designed? That goes right over there. Do you see that? Do you see it? I love it. All right, guys. We're going to glue. Now, if you miss a piece on this is perfectly fine. This is just a little border, you know. The acetate, it's sealing, so our glitter's not coming out. This is just our border. So if you even wanted to put it on like a few corners, just want y'all to know I just burned myself. I just touched that hot glue. Look at our baby, y'all. Ooh, ooh. So now that we did our shaker piece, we're going to repeat the process here. Have our two, and then we're going to decorate our little ends and then put it all together with whatever color ribbon that you choose. Okay, so I just came off screen to finish our little shaker pieces. The other one. Are you coming out? See, you see, I rushed. Oh no, that was on the desk. Okay. So now we have our shaker pieces. We're going to put them to the side. And we're going to assemble, I cut some extras, our pieces to finish up this border. So, like before, we add our foam circles on the top piece of the banner. Just measuring to make sure. Look at that. I done flipped the poor thing over and line it up. All right, so those go here. And remember our little pieces? We're just going to lay them all together. So what, I'm missing one. I gotta go look for, oh, they're stuck together. So what I do is I always put, well, I just started, not always, these two on top of each other, then on here. So I'm going to take the larger foam circle, place it here, and place it here. So this will go on top and then this goes on that. So we're going to put these together first and then place them. And then put them on top of here. So that little dimension it's giving us here. So just repeat that for both sides. And then the same for all of our decorations here. Okay, so I just came off screen to finish our little shaker pieces. The other one. Are you coming out? See, you see, I rushed. Oh no, that was on the desk. Okay. So now we have our shaker pieces. We're going to put them to the side. And we're going to assemble, I cut some extras, our pieces to finish up this border. So, like before, we add our foam circles on the top piece of the banner. Just measuring to make sure. Look at that. I done flipped the poor thing over and line it up. All right, so those go here. And remember our little pieces? We're just going to lay them all together. So what, I'm missing one. I gotta go look for, oh, they're stuck together. So what I do is I always put, well, I just started, not always, these two on top of each other, then on here. So I'm going to take the larger foam circle, place it here, and place it here. So this will go on top and then this goes on that. So we're going to put these together first and then place them. And then put them on top of here. So that little dimension it's giving us here. So just repeat that for both sides. And then the same for all of our decorations here. So I'm running low on my foam circles because I had a used pack, so I had to open another one. And let's repeat. It fit right in. If this was too big for the size that you have, just use a smaller. They have smaller sizes. I'm about to put it on the back. We're not putting it on the back until we are ready to put it on the banner. Now for our girl, we didn't do a shadow. We're just going to have her shadow herself, same size. If you do have just this size, what you can do is, like say you want to put it on the feet. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Pop it out. Make sure you keep both pieces of paper on there. Get a pair of scissors and just cut it in half. And then put it there on her feet. If it's still too big, cut it again. But just getting off her feet. Make sure you cut it before you take off that paper because you don't want it to stick. Get all sticky. See that? So you don't necessarily have to buy. Y'all not gonna tell me I'm putting it on the wrong one? All right, I know. Y'all are not with me. We're not on live or anything. It's a class. But anyway, I like to talk to y'all like y'all are with me. If you're, viewing this class, that means you're crafty and you understand me anyway. So here we go. So instead of ripping that off, I'll just use both of those as the back layer. This is why it's good to have that time set aside to make these instead of rushing, because I've done orders rushing. And something like that, when you're rushing and frustrated, you're not thinking too straight. And you're not going to think, oh, let me use it. Nope, you're going to try to rip it off and then get mad because the design got messed up. So always try to have that separate time to craft. All this extra I just throw right on the floor. And when I'm done my project, I'll come and clean it up. So, see that? We just lay her right on top of herself. All right, now. How cute. Oh my God. All right. So now our shaker window goes here. I'm going to glue it down. Yep. So I'm going to move it a little, kind of try to center it. Now, this is your preference, So I feel like this one, when I stopped to do the other side, I was rushing, acting like you guys were waiting for me, not like I was recording a class. So I'm gonna put a layer of glue here, just, you see, and wipe it clean just to seal it, just to make sure. If you feel like you didn't get enough glue down somewhere and it's possible that the confetti could leak, just do that. Try to center it. Hello, hello, okay. And then our little baby goes here. So I wouldn't put it here. I really want it to sit here. So what I would do, just put a little glue here, right across the top, and then put this on. See, so it sits like right there. And then our little pumpkin. Now, if you want to put her toward the side so that you can see the shaker pieces more, and then like kind of lay these little babies on here, that's perfectly fine. Or you can put her in the center and lay our little pieces on. You see that? So I don't know which one. I like the center. It's up to you. All up to you. So we're going to put our little foam circles on her, lay her where we would like her to go, and then add those. Oops. Come on, sugar. Lay those where we want. So with this, I'm not gonna add the foam. I think I'm going to just put a little bit of glue. But if you wanted to do the foam dot, you can. Just put some glue on that foam dot because it's going on the glitter. So what I'm gonna do with the next one, I'll probably switch places with the other banner. Guys, oh my God. I love it, I love it. I don't even have any, you know, I just have to, I mean, I'm just making this for the class, so I think I'm going to find someone I can give it away to so they can enjoy it just as much as I do. Center that little baby. If this doesn't get you excited, like I don't know what does. All right, I'm being biased because I'm a paper crafter, but you know, if what you love doesn't get you excited, do you really love it? No, can't be. So center our little pumpkin because she's so cute. Put a little bit of glue. Remember, I'm switching. Oh, I don't know what I got on here. Switching sides here. See that? Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Look at our baby. Look at this little pumpkin. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys. So now we're almost done. Get your ribbon, whichever ribbon you want, whatever color. This little skinny one here is 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to string her up. Now, when you're stringing here, you can't see anything. So it's not that bad. So any direction is good. But if you were to see the string and you didn't want to, you would go in through here and make sure the back of the string, you know what, maybe it's better. I always make it a little hard for myself sometimes. You could string this before you add everything, you know? And put it through here. So we just repeat that. Let's pull it and repeat it for the entire thing. Or if you want, you could go to the back and here, because you're not seeing it. I just don't like to see the ribbon. But the design that we have today, it doesn't matter the direction because you're not seeing the ribbon at all. Hold on. Why are you getting stuck, baby? See? This is why I do it the other way. All right. So you just continue on. Always line up your words. One time I didn't, And I strung an entire banner with the incorrect name. Not incorrect name, but in the incorrect order. So yeah, line it up, guys. Just like you kind of measure before you glue. Line up that banner before you string it. Because the last thing you need is to not notice that you did that and give it to someone. And they would never hire you again. Well, maybe they give you a second chance. But still, you don't want that. And guys, we're done. Look at this little pumpkin. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. String our last little baby. And honest to God, how could you not love this? Like, you can do this in any theme, any design. You could do a circle border, you could do a square, you can do, listen, a star would be amazing. Look at that. Look at our baby, guys. Look at our baby. Look at our baby. How could you not? How could you not love this? Beautiful.